Please be advised, viewer discretion is strongly recommended. None of the content in this video has been exaggerated or taken out of context. What you're about to hear is a narrated real-time breakdown of today's dramatic courtroom proceedings in the federal trial of Sean "Diddy" Combs, including the jury's full verdict and the pivotal moments that led up to it. We cover exactly how the jury reached its final decision, the judge's delivery of the verdict in open court, and the powerful reactions that followed. You'll hear the details behind the final moments of jury deliberation, the tension in the courtroom as the verdict was announced, and what this outcome means for Diddy going forward. This coverage is based on verified live reporting from courtroom journalist Inner City Press via X.com. Some language has been censored to comply with YouTube's community guidelines. All parties are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Watch and listen at your own discretion.
Sean Combs is already in the courtroom, quietly conferring with his lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo. Nearby, his legal dream team, Shapiro, Westmoreland, Driscoll, and Steele, circle the well in hushed conversation. The prosecution? Nowhere to be seen. Moments later, Combs shifts his attention to Nicole Westmoreland, his voice low and direct. His other attorneys huddle off to the side. Suddenly, Combs rises and approaches the U.S. Marshals, asking for permission. He's granted it. He walks slowly to the front row and speaks briefly with his family, a rare human moment. Then, he vanishes back into the holding cell. By 9:54 a.m., the courtroom is nearly empty. Only Mark Agnifilo remains seated at the defense table, dressed sharply with a purple tie, both thumbs working over his phone. The front row, once filled with Combs' family, has cleared out. A sense of waiting, watching. At 10:01 a.m., there's movement. The rest of Combs' legal team has returned. Something shifting. Whispers ripple across the courtroom. A jury note, unconfirmed but close. At 10:03 a.m., a word drops like thunder. A verdict has been reached in United States versus Combs. The front table fills fast. The prosecution has arrived. Emily Johnson, Gerald Comey. Their team takes position, silent but alert, eyes forward. But there's one key figure still missing. Sean Combs has not yet been brought back into the courtroom. The space he once occupied remains eerily empty. The moment breaks. Sean Combs is escorted in by U.S. Marshals, his steps slow but deliberate. He takes his seat. To his left, Brian Steele. To his right, Tenny Garagos, his legal armor at full strength. Behind him, in the second row of the gallery, sits his family, watching, waiting, bracing. The final moments are closing in.
We have received a note at 9:52 a.m. It reads, "We have reached a verdict on all counts. Anything to address before we bring our jury out?"
No.
Maintain order while the verdict is being read and until we have the jury out. I'll ask our deputy to bring back our jury.
Sean Combs remains seated. His 8 lawyers are standing up.
All rise.
Combs stands up, and the jurors enter the courtroom.
We have received your note. Juror number 5, have you reached a verdict?
We have.
Is it unanimous?
It is.
Please provide the verdict to the deputy. The deputy will inquire as to the verdict.
In the matter of U.S. versus Combs, count 1.
Not guilty.
Sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura.
Not guilty.
Transportation for prostitution.
Guilty.
Jane, sex trafficking.
Not guilty.
Transportation for prostitution, Jane.
Guilty.
I ask the media not to question jurors about their deliberations. Jurors, you can contact our chambers. You gave up a lot these 10 weeks. It is inspiring. You work together, rain or shine. You answered the call of public service. That should give us hope. I need to address a few matters with the lawyer, then I will come back to meet with you jurors. All rise for the jury.
And then, the jurors rise. One by one, they file out of the courtroom, silent, solemn, deliberate. Jurors exit for the last time. No words spoken, no glances back. Their duty is done. The weight of their decision now lingers in the air.
I'll hear any application, then about a sentencing date.
He should be released. He is no longer charged with sex trafficking or racketeering. His plane has been chartered. It is in Maui. He does not have access to his plane. This is his first conviction, and it is a prostitution offense. He should be released.
His family is here and could sign a bond. He should be released today to go back and live at Two Star Island.
This is just coming up right now. I will hear from the government in a moment. Are you proposing he just walk outside now?
Yes.
You are proposing $1 million bond.
Yes. And travel to Florida, New York, and LA.
The U.S. opposes his release. A person found guilty shall be detained until the judicial officer finds he is not likely to flee or be a danger. The defendant faces a maximum sentence of 20 years. Even while faced with this case, he assaulted Jane. Here in New York, preparing to surrender, he had drugs in his hotel room, was ready to commit this same offense.
I am not going to resolve this second. I need to review the statutes. Ms. Comey, do you have a case in which bail was denied after a conviction under the Mann Act? You may confer and come back. We'd planned to be here the whole day.
I'm aware of cases involving minors, but we intend to raise relevant conduct at sentencing, the drugs and violence.
I'll like letters from each side. When?
A few hours.
I think that makes sense. Mr. Combs does not want to go back to the MDC. He is shaking his head. So, 1 p.m. letters, and we'll convene in the afternoon. I'll let the parties know when.
He would be a fool, which he is not, to violate any condition.
The judge steps out. The courtroom breathes, but only for a second. From the gallery, a sudden eruption, clapping, cheering, echoing off the walls. Sean Combs is being led back into the holding cell, surrounded by U.S. Marshals. The reaction is loud, emotional, raw. A trial marked by silence and tension ends, not with a gavel, but with applause. In a dramatic conclusion to a high-profile federal trial, Sean Diddy Combs was found not guilty on the most serious charges, including racketeering and sex trafficking of both Cassie Ventura and a woman referred to as Jane. However, the jury did return guilty verdicts on 2 counts of transporting women across state lines for prostitution, charges that still carry significant weight. The atmosphere in court shifted sharply once the unanimous verdict was read, with Combs seated between attorneys Brian Steele and Tenny Geragos, and his family watching from the gallery. As the jurors filed out for the final time, the courtroom swelled with emotion. Following the verdict, the defense requested Combs be released on bond, citing that the most serious charges were dismissed and arguing he poses no flight risk. Prosecutors pushed back hard, claiming Combs still represents a danger and referencing alleged drug use and violence tied to the offenses. The judge did not rule on release immediately, stating he would review applicable statutes and requested written arguments from both sides by the afternoon. The courtroom erupted into applause as Combs was led back into the holding cell, marking the end of one chapter, but not the end of this case. Sentencing and a decision on bail still lie ahead.
And that wraps up today's explosive developments in the Diddy trial. If you found this coverage insightful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a real-time update on this case and others like it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the jury's final verdict? Was justice served? We'll be covering every next step as it unfolds. Stay tuned.